everyone. My name is Sandra, and thank you so much for tuning in. All right, y'all. So much has changed in the last 5 months, and I'm excited to return to YouTube. As some of you may know, on May 11th, Justin and I welcomed our daughter, Isabella, into this world. Even though my experience in the hospital was actually very traumatic, I wouldn't change a thing because my daughter was born in good health. Motherhood has been my greatest endeavor, and I honestly cannot imagine my life without our little midget. I've learned so much in the last 5 months, and I want to share that wisdom with all of you. Now, one of my biggest struggles I faced was breastfeeding. Before giving birth, I had already decided that I was going to breastfeed my baby. Despite my mother warning me that I may not be able to produce enough milk, I was determined to never give my daughter formula. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not trying to shame mothers that choose to feed their babies formula. However, the general consensus is that breastfeeding is healthier for babies. It reduces the chance of SIDS, provides babies with the nutrients and enzymes they need, and promotes developing a strong bond with your baby. Knowing this, I planned to breastfeed. Things didn't go as planned. The hospital claimed to support breastfeeding mothers. However, I felt bullied into giving my daughter Enfamil before leaving the hospital. I requested to meet with lactation experts during my stay at Emory. While some of the ladies were helpful with showing me how to get Bella to latch properly, I had one expert that seemed uninterested in helping as well as a bit dumb. I asked her about how the food I eat will affect my lactation, and she mentioned how mothers still breastfeed their children while living in absolute poverty in third world countries. She was trying to make the point that what and how much I ate didn't matter. But the malnutrition bellies of those same babies she used as an example says otherwise. I later asked that same expert about tips for choosing a good breast pump, and this Nimrod said pumping would reduce my milk supply and quoted, "I kid you not, things she saw on social media." Sis, what? I've never heard of a medical professional quoting social media as the basis of their recommendation. I wish untrained lactation experts was the only issue I faced while in the hospital, but sadly, things got worse. When they weighed Bella on her second day of life, she had lost weight. Now, it was my understanding that this was normal because babies expel a lot of waste after being born. But the nurses blamed me for her weight loss, saying that I wasn't producing enough milk. As a new mom, those words are devastating because the last thing you want to do is starve your baby. To add insult to injury, the nurses had me use their electric pump to see how much milk I was producing. They said that if I couldn't pump at least 24 milliliters of milk, that I would have to supplement my breastfeeding with formula. Keep in mind, this was literally the day after I gave birth. It takes time for your milk to come in, and pumps are not always going to extract all of the milk you produced. When I couldn't meet their unrealistic demands, the nurses basically told me that I would have to feed Bella formula. Even though they didn't say it, I knew that a call to CPS was implied if I didn't comply and feed Bella the Enfamil. They had an entire sales pitch ready to persuade me and Justin into putting Bella on formula. After talking it over with Justin, even though I didn't want to, we decided to feed Bella formula. I felt defeated and angry with myself every time we fed Bella formula. When she would cry for milk, I felt as if I was unable to give her what she needed. I began doubting my abilities as a mother, and regrettably, we fed Bella more and more formula. Little did I know, my lack of confidence was one of the reasons I wasn't producing enough. I met with a lactation expert at Bella's pediatrician, and she was a godsend. She taught me how to properly use my pumps and reassured me that I could produce the milk my baby needed. When Bella turned 2 months old, she was officially off of formula. It was a rough few months trying to increase my milk supply, but in the end, I reached my goal. There were a few changes I made that helped me produce more milk. But before we get into what I did, don't forget to hit that like button and become a FayeBae by subscribing to the channel. I made 5 adjustments in order to get my milk supply high enough so that I no longer needed to supplement with formula. Now, keep in mind, what works for me might not work for you. So take what I say with a grain of salt and go on your own journey to find what works for you in regards to increasing your milk supply. First, I learned how to use my pumps correctly and I started double pumping. First, make sure you have the right flange size. There are vendors on Amazon.com that sell inserts that will fit most breast pumps. I will put a link in the description below of the flange insert that I personally use. Next, if your electronic pump doesn't have a cycle function, be sure to alternate between massage and expel mode every 3 minutes. When I first started using my electric pump, I would leave it on expel mode for the entire 15 minutes. This is actually counterproductive. Using the massage mode allows the milk to let down enough so that it can actually expel properly. I noticed instantly that I was pumping more milk after getting the right flange size and cycling between expel and massage mode. At first, I would only pump one breast at a time, but after doing some research, I found that pumping both breasts simultaneously increases letdown, allowing your pumps to expel more milk. Double pumping not only saves time, but helps your body release more milk. Keep in mind, the more you expel, the more your body will produce. Second, I began co-sleeping with Bella. This increased my rest and skin-to-skin time. Co-sleeping allowed me to spend more time doing skin to skin. When your body smells and feels your baby near you, it kickstarts your milk production. Co-sleeping not only increased my skin to skin time, but also kept Bella from crying throughout the night for milk. She was able to latch on whenever she was hungry, and Justin and I were able to catch up on some much needed rest. Getting enough rest and spending more time skin to skin with Bella aided in the growth of my milk supply. I noticed a difference in about 3 days of co-sleeping. Only co-sleep if you are sure that your baby will be safe while sleeping in the bed with you. I was so nervous about this when I first began co-sleeping, but for Justin and I, co-sleeping works. If co-sleeping isn't a safe option for you, try to increase your skin-to-skin time as much as possible and take naps whenever your baby goes down for a nap. Getting enough sleep and bonding time with Bella was a huge factor in increasing my milk supply. Third, I made sure to stay hydrated. It is so important to make sure that you're drinking enough water because that directly affects how much milk you're able to produce. I also found that drinking passion fruit juice bumped up my milk supply as well. Fourth, always have a snack every time you nurse your baby. The lactation expert at my daughter's pediatrician told me to always have a snack whenever I nursed Bella. Now, the snack doesn't have to be something big. It could be like a granola bar or a piece of fruit, but always eat something small whenever you nurse your baby. This will help to keep your milk supply steady. Fifth, take your supplements. To this day, I continue to take my prenatal vitamins, but I also take this supplement called maca root. Now, I've used maca root in the past, and essentially it helps to regulate your hormones. And I found that since I've been taking maca root regularly, my milk supply has been very steady and it's also increased. Remember to always check with your healthcare provider before starting any supplements. Those were the changes I implemented so that I could increase my milk supply. 3 months later, and Bella is continuing to gain weight without formula. It was such a relief knowing that I in fact could produce the milk Bella needed. Never again will I allow others to scare me into believing otherwise. If you're a new mother, I'm here to tell you that you got this. Our bodies are capable of so much, and I believe in your ability to feed your baby. I hope that you believe in yourself as well. Until next time.